Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Update. We've got some breaking news out of Kansas City, Missouri, where Worlds of Fun has posted an interesting little teaser for us about Timberwolf. There's a whole a few different shots of off-ride video of Timberwolf to a very 80s theme, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah, very 80s theme. And then at the end of it, it says, "Get your last rides of 2025." Now, this is all very confusing to me. I don't really know what's going on here because if you've been following World of Fun at all, Timberwolf has been closed all year. So they are now opening it for the end of the year, telling people to get their last rides of 2025 in. Um, Also, their first rides of 2025, I guess,
yeah.
by that metric. So what is your take on this, Jeff? I got nothing here. Well, I got some things, but
I was super confused when I saw that promo reel. All season, the website says that Timberwolf will be closed for the entirety of the 2025 season. In fact, right now, while we're filming, I'm looking at the website and it says that Timberwolf will be closed for the entirety of the 2025 season. But tomorrow, I would expect that they take that down because on the 20th it's supposed to open through November 1st, which I guess is the end of their haunt season. Ours goes till the second, so I'm not really sure why
some of them are
why the
opening.
first.
Are Some of them are going through Sunday. Some of them are closing after Saturday for some reason. I have no idea why.
Okay, so yeah, the first rides, the last rides, I don't know. It just seems like why not call it now open? It just is kind of confusing. And it also has like the older logo. I don't know if you noticed that.
Mm.
It's kind of got like the throwback logo.
Yeah, because there's a lot of speculation as to what was happening with Timberwolf that I think at the end of last season they took down the ride sign. Everyone's like, "Oh, Timberwolf is done." Um, and then we found out that it would not be opening for this season at all, but obviously they are opening it. So there's a lot of theories out there. Like the first one is that they're giving people the opportunity to ride the ride one last time to avoid the
The
King
King
Ka
Ka
mistake.
effect.
The King Ka effect, right? So they're trying to avoid that, give people the opportunity to write it. I'm a little worried about maintenance on it because if it's been sitting there all season, like and not run at all, like I'm like, is it going to be smooth? Is it going to be rough? Whatever. Um, but are they going to tear it down? Like that's option one, that they're giving people the opportunity to write it one last time, and then they're going to tear it down completely. Um, that's that's a possibility, right?
Yeah, I mean, when I was there, last time I was there, Zambezi Zinger did not exist. I got a good ride on Timberwolf. It was actually a problematic ride when we were there. It was down for most of the day. It opened up and we like ran over and got on it and then it broke again. So I don't know if that's normal or if it's just my only experience with it. But now that they have Prowler, which is an amazing ride, and they
Yeah,
have Zambezi Zinger, which is definitely a toned down ride that's more family friendly, Timberwolf kind of doesn't fit anymore. Like, what's its purpose?
it
So
doesn't have a purpose. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm really hoping that either it's really the last rides and that they're going to clear this space for something cool, or that this is going to be not just fixed but reimagined.
Well, and Timberwolf is always like one, even when Prowler and Zinger and a lot of stuff wasn't there, Timberwolf has always been like a middle of the pack ride. Like it's always felt like it should be better. And because of various reasons that, it wasn't, the tracking wasn't super smooth or whatever was going on. I never felt like I got like an amazing ride on Timberwolf that I felt like it should be. Like I felt like I could have got an amazing ride at one point, but for whatever extenuating circumstance there was, it just didn't happen. So I don't feel like I ever got that. And I always felt that if you did some stuff, because they reprofiled some stuff with Timberwolf years ago, trying to fix it, and I thought it kind of made it a little less intense and more boring, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's always been one of those rides that I never felt like a deep connection to, or like, oh my God, this is an amazing ride. I thought it had potential, but if you're talking about reimagining it now and not just scrapping it outright, I go back to what we were talking about with Zambezi Zinger. Everyone thought that when that ride, before it was announced, when it was going to be announced, that everyone thought it was going to be a completely Titan track ride, that it would not be a wood ride. And
Right.
then I think the most shocking part of that announcement was that it was still a wood coaster, and everyone's like looking around the room, like, "Hey, wait a minute, why do they need a third wood coaster in this park?" So maybe they made that decision to make the family ride a wood coaster because the forces are less. You don't need to do as much tracking on it, probably. Or if you do have to, you can put the Titan track in the spots that you need it. And then maybe they came up with the plan to do something a lot cooler with Timberwolf, which is what I hope happens, right?
Yeah, I mean, I know, just going behind the scenes a little bit, Andy, you sent me a screenshot a couple of weeks ago on RMC's page. They updated it and it said that they had a 208 project in the US. And we both kind of like scoffed and said, well, that's got to be Hellcat at Clementon Park
Yeah.
because last May we heard that they were getting a shipment of 208 track to refurbish that. Do you think that this could possibly be a 208 project and they're just fixing it? Like, I mean,
Well, and I go back to like Cedar Fair went all in on RMC. Obviously, Six Flags went more in on RMC than
yeah.
Cedar Fair did. Cedar Fair had its two little projects with Vengeance and Twisted Timbers, and they kind of like have shunned RMC since
And
then. When
and,
there's
and
plenty,
Railblazer.
oh, and no, well, Railblazer too. I'm yeah, I forget about Railblazer all the time for obvious reasons. Um, but and there's plenty of candidates within Cedar Fair in the old Cedar Fair for an RMC conversion, and the biggest one is the Canadian Mindbuster up in Canada's Wonderland would be a perfect fit, I think, for a new RMC steel or Iron Horse. Um, but then we've also seen Michigan's Adventure, and we talked about all of that and on a
Yeah.
previous show with GCI coming in, and what was the other group? Gravity Group coming.
Gravity Group, RMC, and GCI have all put product on with Wolverine Wildcat. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you have that, and I feel like, because keep in mind that I know there's a merger and I know Six Flags is still the name, but I think for all intents and purposes, people keep complaining about Six Flags this, Six Flags this. I feel that every single decision being made is our Cedar, like our right out of the Cedar Fair playbook. So like everyone's talking about, oh, Six Flags is ruining, Cedar Fair, and I don't know if that's altogether true, because I feel like a lot of the leadership positions are held by Cedar Fair people. A lot of the decisions feel like a continuation of what Cedar Fair was doing. There's a few things, some outliers here and there, haunt bracelets. But for the most part, I feel like Cedar Fair is calling the shots. And I feel that if Cedar Fair is calling the shots, RMC is not doing this project.
Yeah. It's bizarro Cedar Fair. It's all the evil things they wanted to try, but we're afraid to.
Um, and we've yet to see a fully Titan track ride at this point, right? We've not really seen GCI take a wood coaster and
No.
transform it.
So the only one that we know that they put a serious bid to do that in was actually Wildcat at Hershey Park, and we
Mhm.
know that they didn't get that job, but that was something where they put in a bid to Titan track the entire ride, reimagine the layout, add inversions, like do everything that we would want from you know, uh, a reimagined ride. Now, going back to the RMC webpage, they have different categories, and 208, that means refurbishment. That to them, that does not mean reimagining the ride. So I
Oh,
still kind of think that that's Hellcat. As much as I want to be like RMC's coming in and doing the
yeah.
Iron Horse, unless they're not gonna update that part of the website until they close the ride and say that it's gonna have a second life, I'm trying to be optimistic, but I'm kind of thinking maybe that's not the way they're going.
Well,
However,
and
the
I'm going to say like GCI too. I'm kind of excited by the idea of GCI coming in and doing, because we don't know what they can do, you
That's
know.
right. They're kind of a wild card, and like I said when they first introduced this product, I really would love to see the competition between the two of them, especially in the design department. And I know you kind of scoffed at Zinger, but at 620 feet, that is the most Titan track in the entire park. So
Oh,
it's possible that they're happy with it.
yeah, right. And like when we get down to GCI, like people have always talked highly about their layouts to begin with. That usually um when you talk about GCI roller coasters, the wood coasters I'm speaking of,
Mhm.
that they talk very highly about the layouts and their creativity and that stuff. And usually where GCI kind of falls apart at the end, if they do fall apart, because I think Prowler's still an amazing ride, Mrs. Timber's an amazing ride. Danny likes Gold Striker more than most people should ever like Gold Striker.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
throw Thunderhead in that list too. I really like Thunderhead.
yeah, you're one of those, right? And then,
Yeah,
but
I like.
and then you,
I think Prowler's the best of the bunch, but I do
yeah,
like. I put Thunderhead in there too.
and then you have something like Gwazi thrown in there too. That's kind of like one of the early ones that was a little too ambitious using PTC trains and kind of tore up the track and just didn't work out. So like I'm kind of excited to see what GCI could do with this to see, hey, because if this could work, and I know RMC's kind of like RMC'd all of the big coasters already, but Timberwolf never fit into that model of being RMC. That when RMC was doing their stuff, everyone kind of always said Timberwolf was a little too small, was a little too short, and wouldn't fit that model perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I see where you're coming from, but they have back when we were thinking that they hadn't put those big truss lift hills on things. They hadn't really built anything up higher than about 5 to 10 feet above
Hmm.
its original height. So I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that they could add a little bit to it. But at the same time, I mean, like, rides like uh, Wicked Cyclone, you know, uh,
Yeah,
I know your
Twisted
favorite
Cyclone.
Storm
Oh,
Chaser. Like they're all just a little over 100 feet, and they've got enough energy to have some fun on it.
yeah, and they and RMC
Rides
did
like
start
that maybe
doing
too.
like RMC did start doing some smaller stuff too, like you said, like Wicked Cyclone, now or Twisted Cyclone, and even
Yeah,
Twisted Timbers to some extent. People are like,
yeah.
oh,
It's
did
like
they really
110 feet.
Yeah. So, but like Timberwolf was never even really discussed about like people are like, oh, well, maybe RMC, but not no one. So like the idea that maybe GCI could come in and bring life to maybe some of these smaller rides with something that's intense, that's designed for high thrills, but maybe not as like crazy as an RMC is, because RMCs are pretty intense. I do think if Worlds of Fun, and I am the one of the biggest Worlds of Fun people out there. I might be the only person outside of Kansas City speaking the praises of Worlds of Fun. And it's one of those parks that I end up there all the time. I haven't been there in like 2 years, but I love their collection of rides. Like Mamba is a great hyper coaster. Great might be a strong word. A really good
Really
hyper
strong word.
a really strong word. A really good hyper coaster. Prowler is I think one of the greatest wood coasters, top five in my book. And then they have a nice little support. Patriot is a very nice inverted coaster. I know some people don't like it, but it does completely different stuff. And they just have a nice flat ride collection. They have a nice little walk around the park. It's a beautiful park. It has a lot going for it. They have a nice little campground with cabins next to it. They have a nice water park that's ice cold water if you like that kind of thing. But it's a really nice park. But the one thing it's missing is that headliner steel modern roller coaster that is gonna be like, okay, this is a top 20 roller coaster. Like they have Prowler, which is I think at least a top 10 wood coaster. Anyone who doesn't put it in their top 10 needs to get their head examined. Like seriously. But they need that steel coaster. That Mamba just doesn't cut it. Patriot just doesn't cut it. And I'm not missing anything, right?
Nothing worth mentioning. I mean,
No,
they've
the
got a Gerstlauer
boomerang.
spinner, they got a boomerang,
Yeah.
like
So there's really nothing else. Cyclone Sam's is a lot of fun,
yeah.
but like they need that top tier steel coaster, and I don't foresee them building a Giga anytime soon.
No.
Or or even a Blitz coaster or a Vekoma, whatever. So maybe a redo of Timberwolf is their best road to getting a really good coaster. Because World of Fun always had that rumor out there that they were going to bring back Orient Express somehow. And I like this doesn't seem like that to me. Like that doesn't.
No, I mean they leaned on their nostalgia and their past when they did Zambezi Zinger. Maybe the old logo in the promo reel will be something that they'll include if they do reimagine. And I'm hoping they reimagine this ride that they'll include as part of its legacy. But if it does well, maybe that opens them up to do something like Orient Express 2.0.
Now, Jeff, you haven't mentioned this yet, and
Yeah.
it just dawned on me that if they were to raise Timberwolf, it might be the perfect plot of land to build an access coaster called Orient Express.
I mean, I'm on that train all day long.
Right? So and we said that we would mention access coaster anytime we
Yeah.
discuss coasters. And
Yeah.
actually it kind of makes a little sense in this scenario. Because I don't think they could put a coaster where the old Orient Express was. They could maybe, but I don't know if they would want to. There's a lot of stuff over there already.
Yeah.
But
I feel like it's a park with some elbow room though. Like I feel like it's a
yeah,
park with some plots where they could build.
yeah, and raising Timberwolf would give them a nice big plot of land to put in something like what I would imagine an access coaster would be actually. Like it would actually fit almost exactly in that plot of what I would think a full layout would look like. So
Can't believe I
anyway,
missed
so
the access plug.
so anyway, I don't know if what's going on here. I don't know if we're just close. And then there's the third option of they're just reopening the ride as is next year. Like this is just the last rides of 2025. I think
I don't
that's the
know.
least off likely though.
That would be incredibly anticlimactic. And like, why would they even pay somebody to produce a video at that point?
Well, clearly for the three Timberwolf fans out there, they're like rejoicing right now. Like, hey, yes, that's the option. Are there any Timberwolf fans out there? I don't even know if there are.
I don't know, but t-shirts on sale tomorrow.
T-shirts on sale tomorrow. If you had a nice 80s Timberwolf shirt, then and that park has always done a good job with their merch too. That's the other thing. Like people have been sleeping on Worlds of Fun. Their shows are good, their food's pretty good. Um like they're sleeping on that park. I don't know why people hate that don't well, they don't hate the park. I don't know why people don't talk about that park more. Maybe it's location. It's hard to
It's
get
the
to.
it's the Dorney of the Midwest.
No, it has a much better feel than Dorney. Dorney's so lifeless. I don't know. Like Dorney just feels like you walk in and it's just like I don't know. There's no spirit there. There's no character. Like it's just there. It's like Cedar Point Light, but not even done well. Yeah, it is. I don't know. Worlds of Fun has character, has a personality with the balloons right when you walk in.
I just want to go back on Prowler.
Yeah, that's the
If
main
if
thing.
they made something cool so I can go back and visit Prowler, I'd be happy.
Yeah, night rides on Prowler are what people pay for, so I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, we will keep you updated. Hopefully, get some more teasers out of Worlds of Fun, and find out what they are actually doing with Timberwolf. I wouldn't expect anything until like the last 2 weeks of the season here. I think they're gonna let this play out a little bit.
I don't know. I kind of really hope that we hear something in early November, like, and some
Done.
new news. Yeah.
But then, do we get something in 2026 right away, or do you think we wait till 2027?
I don't know if it's a reimagining. I mean, anything's possible, but if not, that's a tall order. It is right in the middle of the park, though. They they
Yeah.
needed to be working on that during the off season.
Well, and that's the thing is, even when they closed up Mean Streak and stuff, they closed it towards the beginning of Haunt. And I don't remember Hurler and Twisted Timbers if anyone even cared when they closed Hurler, to be
No, but
honest.
those are both accessible from like
That's
surface
true.
and outside roads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, yeah, Timberwolf's completely enclosed, especially with Mamba and stuff.
Yeah.
So we shall see. But there's not a whole lot happening. Like we're gonna get an announcement here from over Texas and momentarily,
Yeah.
but for Six Flags, there's not a whole lot of news. So
Magic Mountain too.
Timberwolf, the what?
Magic Mountain, I expect to hear something from as well.
You still expect that? I'm not holding my breath. I don't know.
You think
maybe.
that's the 2027 now as well?
At this point, I don't even know. It seems like everything's going to be 2027 or hashtag never. I don't know. Um, but having a reimagined Timberwolf might breathe some life into the chain a little bit. I don't know. So we'll see. So I'm of course Andrew Barchek from Chicago, Illinois.
I'm Jeff Goodman on Long Island, New York.
Right on, right Warriors.